Coast to Coast with Arash Madani live from the broom closet again today. Is this the last broom closet hit we're going to do?
It is. The finals of the National Bank Open go this evening in Montreal. And so the Wi-Fi password from 2021 on a Post-it note will no longer be necessary to use on the sports cage.
Good stuff. Some sad news out of Calgary. The great Peter Maher passes away today. I don't know how much you knew him. I know you've worked in the same circles. Just if you have any thoughts or memories of Peter.
Yeah, I spent a year covering the Flames living in Calgary, and I think a lot of people are going to talk about Barney just kind of the giant and the stature and the influence he was and that he had on hockey in Southern Alberta, on the Flames, what he meant, etc. But like one of the things about Peter Maher is nobody had a bad word to say about him ever. Like, he was universally beloved. And at a time where, well, especially in our business, there's a lot of MFing going on and, backstabbing and all of those kinds of things and murmurs. Never with Peter Maher. Like, that was a dude who just was positive, was well-liked. He was who he was. He was authentic. And, man, he loved the Calgary Flames.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, look, I'm not even a Flames guy, and I know, and I can kind of remember his iconic calls from like the 80s, and then they're kind of replayed and all that. So a sad day for sure in Calgary and for Flames fans. Can we shift to the Blue Jays? And of course, I'm glued to my Blue Jays. My wife last night came into the sunroom, looked at the TV, and looked at me and said, "You're watching baseball?" And I said, "I am in to this Blue Jay." And they almost blew it, Arash.
Well, first of all, they got you back in. They've got you hooked. Like they've sunk their teeth into you. It's amazing what happens when a team starts to make a run and how you get on board with it. And different people have different times where they're actually bought in. I thought John Schneider had a great line after the game. He said, "Hey, maybe the baseball gods are now on our side." Just with the way that game unfolded, with how they won, with the way they went about it. And suddenly Boston, which had been the hottest team in all of baseball, they won something like 35 of 42 games, something like that. The Jays win that series against the Red Sox. And now all of a sudden, Barney, like you and I have kind of danced around it over the last few days. They're in this thing, man. They're right back in the hunt.
Shocking. And then you drop on Tuesday where Vlad, what is it? He hasn't had a home run at home this year. And then he's going head first into the plate last night to score. Now, let's give a plug here. Your podcast, the Get It Done League.
Yes.
You guys have been talking about Vladdy and what he needs to do here.
Yeah. So the podcast available on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, and YouTube. It's with Josh Donaldson and Russell Martin, who both know a thing or two about hitting.
Yes.
And Josh got into the technical side of it. And Russ said, you know what Vlad Guerrero needs to do with 6 weeks left in the season, with a quarter of the schedule left to go? He said he just needs to look at himself in the mirror and just keep repeating to himself, "I'm Vladimir Guerrero. I'm a bad man. I can go do this." These guys who've done it are convinced that for Vlad, yeah, there's some mechanical stuff and some physical things, and we can get into that. But they really believe there's a mental thing. When you watch Guerrero chug along the base paths, as you just talked about, Barney, the want to, the give a bleep factor, all of that still exists. That's a good thing. He hasn't thrown the towel in on his own season, even though it's been a disaster. And if somehow over the next 6 weeks, he can manufacture something, he can recreate the magic of last fall, The Blue Jays are in business.
Is there some data? Is there some stats? Is there odds on if they can actually pull this off?
There probably is. There's numbers for everything in baseball. They got a few teams to jump over. Their strength of schedule is not very difficult when you look at it. They have 2 against the Yankees, 1 against the Rays. That's a series. That's tough. There's an Athletics in there. There's a couple Kansas City Royals in there. They also play Cleveland, a team that's above them in the standings. They also have Baltimore, who they're fighting for a wild card spot with. So when you kind of look at this, it's not a gauntlet. Matter of fact, this series with the Red Sox kind of was. And now that's wrapped up with them, dominating Boston. Suddenly you're saying to yourself, okay, can this continue? Can Louis Varland remain locked down as a closer? Can the starting pitching do what it's continued to do? And if the offense just shows any kind of flicker, any kind of sign of life, man, that actually changes the conversation altogether around the ball club.
Let's shift to some CFL here, and you wanted to spell something you feel is a myth when it comes to the new rules and missed field goal returns.
So, Barney, I don't know about you, man. Anytime there's a missed field goal return for yardage, let alone a touchdown, social media goes ablaze with, we'll never see this again in the history of the Canadian Football League.
And that's exactly how it sounds.
Even on Twitter, even in text.
But you go ahead.
The crowd at the Viscount Gort, like you can hear them from there in Winnipeg. The yellow leather sofas.
The COVID museum, I call it.
Oh, man. Look, there will still be field goals, long field goals attempted, and special teams coaches will be worth their while to put a returner back there.
Absolutely.
They may not be as prevalent, but if you're going to line up a 52-yard field goal, well, a 52-yard field goal is still a 52-yard field goal. It's just going to be lined up from a different yard marker.
Yeah.
I was telling Brendan McGuire this the other day. I'm like, man, I'm a Vikings fan. I still remember Antonio Cromartie returning a kick 109 yards for a touchdown against the Vikes on a field goal that came up short. So yeah, like there are these myths that just need to go away because football is still football, and these are things that can still exist. They happen in the NFL where they play, when they have the goalpost at the back of the end zone. Remember Chris Davis, Auburn versus Alabama, Iron Bowl? Field goal missed. Davis returned it for a touchdown. It can still happen. Get the Lysol wipes out at the Viscount Gort. Let's go.
Yeah. I found one of our COVID masks the other day, actually. But like you said, it's going to be really, really interesting, the coaching side of it, the chess game, when a team lines up for a long attempted field goal and another team all of a sudden puts a guy back there. And then they're like, okay, oh boy. And if you're not on your toes coverage wise, no one said, and that's the other thing. I think that's what you're getting at. No one said that if the kick falls short and you're in the end zone, you just hand the ball to the ref and walk away.
You still catch it.
You can.
It's
burn.
a live ball.
You can burn. Yeah.
Sure. Yes.
I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, the gameplay in it will be very interesting to see. Now, are we going to see it as much? Probably not. But if a team is maybe down, or it's situational, or the special teams guy does whatever call he does to say we're running this out, and there's going to be walls set up, and there might be a reverse at some point. You're exactly right. What do you know about Zach Collaros and what we're hearing out of Winnipeg, or what are you curious there?
Well, I'm just curious to see what the Bombers are going to get from Collaros coming back from this injury. Like this is the perfect scenario, really. One, you're at home. 2, you're facing Ottawa. So you'll get a real good kind of walk before you run against real competition with Collaros out there. And I want to see how sharp he is. I want to see if he's going to be limited at all. I want to see if he can still make the throws. Is he the Zach that we're used to? Zach can still sling it. And Zach's got the arm strength. And Zach can do all the things that Zach has always been able to do. Now, coming off this injury, let's see if there's anything lingering or not. I think that's going to be something really interesting to monitor when they play, tomorrow night, I think.
It's that game is tomorrow night. Tonight, talk about a sexy Thursday night matchup. What are we going to get in Calgary in front of about 19,000? So who knows how many people will be actually, and Jeffrey will be there. Jeffrey will be, he'll be in the mixer for sure. What are you thinking? What are you watching? Nathan Rourke, obviously, maybe he didn't look that sharp last week.
He almost did enough Russ get knocked off last week in that, grit through by the skin of your teeth kind of win against Hamilton, where Rourke did not look sharp. And they tried so many different things to kind of get him going. You saw the flea flicker and everything else. Look, remember, they're humans. Yes, they're quarterbacks. Yes, they're franchise quarterbacks. They're star players. But you miss some time. You're coming back from an injury. Your body, Rourke is not 100%. His body's not right. It's just good enough to be able to play and not really make it worse. So, what would a real timeline be for Nathan Rourke? Probably another 6 weeks. There's no time. There's no time in the season. So what can Rourke do under the circumstances? And for Calgary, this feels like an important one.
Yeah, for sure.
I still haven't figured out the Stampeders the last couple of years. Good enough, but then not good enough. And so 3-5 versus 4-5, Barney. Let's see.
I feel like one of these two teams could be my Shawshank Redemption team. Not really good when it comes out, but then later, what a film. How did we miss this when it came? How did we, we could get back in November and be like, well, we didn't see this? These guys are good.
I thought your line was one of Calgary or BC was going to get busy living or get busy dying, and we're going to find out tonight.
Oh, Andy Dufresne. What a man. Yeah. What a man. I'm just looking online. So I looked at two different spots right now, Arash, because if it was there, and I don't see it, an anytime touchdown, a Joe tonight is, me. Liking to get a little bit crazy.
By the way, speaking of anytime touchdown, let me bring this up in one of
I got Dylan.
All the people who say I don't like Arash hates the CFL. I'm in a group chat. This dropped in a group chat today. Tommy Stevens anytime touchdown this week. What do you think the number is? What do you think the
175.
This is minus 170. How about double that? It's minus 340 anytime for Tommy Stevens.
Oh wow.
That's like prime Jonathan Taylor against the worst rush defense in the NFL. That's insane.
Yeah. You know what I wish there was? I wish there was a does he break the record bet. If you see that out there, let me know. I wouldn't mind hitting that. Let's go Argos going to Edmonton. Looks like rookie kicker Brady Lister going to get the nod for Toronto again. Are they going to go with this kid? What are you hearing the rest of the way?
I'm of the belief and of kind of the understanding is that if this kid just kind of continues to plug along, plug away, do his thing, they're not turning back from him. Now, Liam Harlau is still there on the injured list as insurance, etc. But it's the kid's job to lose after Harlau lost them the game in Hamilton. Make no mistake about that. 2 weeks ago. So there could be a changing of the guard, but The vet's still kicking around, pardon the pun, just in case.
Howard Law, who is, what is he, a global national American?
Oh no, he's a Canadian.
Oh,
he went to Western.
The Riders maybe at some point could go a yoo-hoo. Howard Law, you want to come over and okay, so did you hear Rene Paredes? I talked to Jock Wilson yesterday about him in Calgary, and we're talking about how he's a firefighter and he's kind of still injured, and is he going to kick again? Jock throws at us, he failed his physical. He's not a firefighter anymore.
Oh.
I know. That's the kind of stuff, that's the kind of hard-hitting, the I-team stuff that we do here with a one-man crew on the Sports Cage, Arash. We get to those kind of stories.
You know, Barney, if this whole radio media sales thing doesn't work out for you may have a future in espionage.
No, I've said it before. I want to drive the truck at thoroughbred tracks. When the horses get to the gate, I'm going to drive the truck and then peel away. And then I just want to work at a golf course and just ask people, how's your day? But think about it though. If Edmonton loses that game, where they were 3 weeks ago on the kind of the top of the mountain, and then if they lose to Toronto somehow at home,
life comes at you fast,
doesn't it? Isn't that? That's not from Shawshank. That's
no.
What movie is that from? Breakfast
I'm
Club?
not sure.
Breakfast Club.
Is that what it is? Okay.
This could go off the rails.
Anthony Michael Hall?
I know you got to work. This could really go off the rails. I can tell already.
Anthony Michael Hall was better in Johnny Be Good than he was in The Breakfast Club. Let's be real.
Oh, The Breakfast Club's a good flick. And, well, Shawshank's the best. Okay, buddy. Yeah. Have fun. Sign your name.
Disappeared like a fart in the wind.
Yeah, like Brooksy did, and what was Morgan Freeman's character's name in Shawshank? Red. Like Brooks and Red did, they signed their name. That's what you need to do in the broom closet when you leave. Arash was here.
You know what? With a Sharpie right on the microwave.
Absolutely. Do it. Okay, buddy.
Life Moves Pretty Fast was actually Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Not Breakfast Club. Oh, people out there like, yeah. Sorry.
Thank you, Colson.
Okay, still sign your name on the microwave. Talk to you next week, bud.
See you, boys.
See ya.